Oh. Hello, everybody, from Dr. Filippo, and welcome to another episode of The Achiever. And I got a great guy with me. His name is Tom. And I, as you know, I believe that everybody is an achiever inside us, and this giant can be asleep, can be half awake, or can be fully awake. And I truly believe that Tom is one of those guys that this giant is fully awake and is doing his best to achieve great things, and is already doing lots of good in his own world and in the chiropractic field. So thank you for being with us, Tom. And I just, if you want to introduce yourself a little bit, tell us a little bit about you, and then we'll crack on.
I'm just laughing to myself because we've just said that, you know, the giant inside him is awake, but until about 2 minutes ago, Filippo was calling me because I completely forgot we were doing the call. So I was definitely asleep at that moment in time. I was definitely a rested giant. Yeah, so I'm Tom, I'm a chiropractor, graduated in 2012, and we've got 2 practices in the north of England, around the Sheffield region. But me and Filippo know each other from various, obviously, chiropractic groups. Not many groups in the UK. Well, there's not many chiropractors in the UK at the minute, Filippo. So, yeah, you have to come in and have a chat with you guys.
Okay. So, well, tell us, why did you, in the first place, decide to become a chiropractor?
I think everyone's got one of these stories for this. Mine's probably not the most amazing miracle story. When you talk to a lot of chiropractors, you can listen to them, they have these amazing stories sometimes, and I think mine was more inside. I knew I wanted to help someone, and that was my biggest thing. So from about 15, I knew that I wanted to do something that helped and gave back to something or someone. So my first thought process, and this is the cringeworthy, my first process was, I thought, okay, I'm going to be a vet. Like working with animals. I went and ended up doing placements at different vets. I knew I wanted to do something that was going to be health or medical or something based, but that was my go-to. And then basically over a couple of years, I talked myself out that I wasn't smart enough. And then I thought maybe I should put...
I missed that.
Yeah, I don't know. I had an inner voice in my ear, and I thought, I can't do this. I don't think I'm going to be able to do this. And I thought, I'm going to have to make it narrower. So why not go instead of all the species knocking around? Why don't we just concentrate on one species and concentrate on humans? And that was it. So we started looking into doing medicine or healthcare, because that's the only thing I was really new at the time. Was probably about 17, and ended up going to placements for medical schools. And I'm very mechanical minded, as in I like to see things and see improvements and see, that makes more sense. So in my head, so I was always looking at I was going to go into something about movement or orthopedics or something like this. So I ended up going to loads of different universities and sitting in for weeks with the boards to find out, how to become what I had in my head as an orthopedic person. Mm-hmm. And the more time that I spent in there, the more I just got more disillusioned with it. And basically found that when I remember sat at the back of this big group at Kiel and listening to this orthopedic surgeon sat there, and he was describing how his day was so narrowed down now to just 2 things, like knee operations, hip operations. That was it, day in, day out. And I just thought, this is going to kill me. Like, It was a very disillusioned model in my head, what they were saying. It was not working with a person's health. It was just cut something out and stick something in. And the ladder approach to get to that stage, it just wasn't for me. So I was a bit lost. I was a little bit lost, didn't know what to do. I still had this mission. I wanted to go and help somebody. And in my head, I was going, okay, well, I'm not going to do that. Maybe I can make I don't know, arm replacements, leg replacements, something like that. I was just trying to think something engineering, mechanical. So I was very lost. And it was at the same time that my mum started going to see a chiropractor. So my mum has basically no disc between L2-3. She had masses of pain reoccurring. Now I think I'm tracking it back to epidural, and it's crazy, but don't get me ranting about epidural injections and the hit rate, especially in this area, 20, 25 years on, where there's reduced this height. But so she started seeing a chiropractor, and suddenly she started being able to move, and pain started going down, and she just was, yeah, excelling.
Mm.
And as people do, next thing, my granddad went, and then my dad, and then my grandmother, and then so suddenly all my family started just being within this one clinic, and seeing big results, and not just pain, but like you guys know, we're in an internal community here, but it's sort of people seeing, we started seeing results where things were changing in our lives. So my mum went, why don't you come down? We should go down and speak to Pete. So I went down as a chiropractor, went down on one of their appointments, and we were sat, and I distinctly remember going into the room with my mum, and as we were going in, this old guy came out and kind of hobbled past me, and I thought, oh, that's pretty cool, fair enough. Then when we came out, there was like a young, like, kid going in. And I'm thinking, Christ, that's variety. That's working with all age groups. That's working with loads of different things, not just the one area, the one hip, whatever it is. So that was it. That's what sparked it off. I saw something where people were getting results, that things were changing on a bigger scale, and that it was a wider approach to health. And I saw variety, and I thought, this is it. So I ended up spending time there. The guy gave me a reference, and then it all just went ahead, and the rest is history. We're
Nice.
now, like I say, graduated 2012. We've now got 2 clinics, 23-man team. We're seeing scary, nearly 80 to 100 new people every month coming into practice, plus everybody else. So it's something that I'd never change, and I'd do it all again. And yeah, and the point is now that we can serve so many people throughout every aspect of the health, just to try and get a little bit better. And it's something that the community is craving for at the minute, and especially there's nobody else doing it the way that we do it where we are. And I'm sure, you know, and when I say we, I mean chiropractors.
Yes.
We operate as chiropractors, and people want us, people need us, people are looking for an alternative than what they've been fed for the last 20, 30, 40, 50 years.
That's right.
And especially in this time of crisis, that's what the word I'm going to use at the minute. I'm going to call it pandemic or disease or whatever else.
That's
You
right.
know, the
I,
amount of people, the amount of people that I feel are going to be well, we're getting messages. We're getting messages now from Facebook pages, and people trying to come in. Because people are looking for something else than just sickness management.
yes.
So,
Yes, that is true. Something that you said about like your mom started to go, then your dad, then like part of your family started to go to the chiropractor, and they started to see changes that were not just pain going away. What is like what are the biggest change, or like one or two biggest changes that they saw while going to chiropractor?
Christ alive, mate, you're going back a long
Unexpected.
time here.
Yeah.
Half those relations aren't here anymore, Philippo. It's been a long time. But from what I remember was the movement and the change, but the physical change we could see in each of it. I think, especially when we're working with people now, and Filippo, you'll be the same, but when it's not always the thing that people say. So it may be the unspoken thing, but there is a change in people, and usually it's not the person who notices; it's the other people surrounding them, and it's, I don't know how to describe it. More vitality,
Mm.
different aspect, clearer view. I mean, I don't know at the minute, but this is probably the longest I've been without an adjustment at the minute,
Yeah.
and it is scary. and there's a lot going on at the minute. We're keep getting sucked back into things, and me and Beck have to keep having moments of clarity with ourselves and going, whoa, it's just calm down, because I think especially when I feel that when I'm being adjusted, I'm a lot more clearer on what I'm supposed to be doing, and how to handle situations and manage my energy and manage my time. And it's all down to communication between brain and body. If there's miscommunication that's building from stress and the environment around us at the minute, it's not a far jump to assume that obviously you won't have as clear a thought, intention, action, control of your body. So
Yeah, I feel you. I know what you mean, because it's great when clients come and say, I don't know, it feels, they don't say it feels better, they say it feels different.
yeah, something changes.
Yeah.
There is been specific adjustments in my time that I've had, and I've gone, something's different now, or something has changed. Trying to put words to describe how that difference is hard, because I think it's something visceral for a lot of people, something that people feel.
Yeah.
But you can never quite put it down and describe it. So strange.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, I love it.
How would you describe it, Filippo? I'm gonna put you on the spot. Never mind chicken fingers, but come on, Filippo. What changes do you feel?
How do I feel when I get adjusted? It just,
What changes do you see?
I think it's just, it's more connected. If there is, one word that I can use is connected. Whether like is to myself, the people around me, the universe, you just feel in tune when you get adjusted, especially when you get adjusted regularly, I believe. And that's what my clients also say. They feel connected. Yeah, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Resonates with you. Hey, so now time of crisis. So everybody's freaking out about coronavirus, and I believe in our community there's a lot of people that is just sitting back and waiting for things to change, and some other people that are changing things, and so that's one of the reasons why I wanted to reach out to you is I mean, there's people that my clients as well, they call me, they don't have a routine, they're getting stressed, anxious, they don't know what to do, and by the way, I'm just opening a bracket here. I was I mean, if you know what's happened, I'm from Italy, so Italy is crazy. People cannot go out at all. I mean, they have to stay in their houses. And imagine, like, I'm from Milan, full of flats and apartment, people cannot go out. And I think people is going insane. We're still lucky here in UK. You can go out for a walk or a run with your family, or it's awesome. I think here we still have that freedom that where I come from, they have not. And I can talk when I talk to my parents and my brothers, they're getting quite anxious and stressed about that. But anyway, closing the bracket is what are a couple of tips? Something that I want to give value to whoever's going to listen to this recording. What are one or two tips that you can give to the audience so that they can thrive in this time of crisis?
Just before we start,
Yep.
have you just seen on the news as well, the singer in Milan in front of the cathedral? There's just been a public concert that's been streamed. It's looked beautiful. Andreas, what's the famous operatic singer? Anyway, you should check that out. That's pretty cool. Because especially things like that. Okay, let's take a back step. Both me and Filippo have a mentor, one of my mentors anyway. But Ryan is one of our coaches. He's been saying recently, or reading out a quote, that the environment is a lot stronger than the individual. It's from a monk. So how you surround yourself with, or the environment that you surround yourself in, will often change or will keep changing your mindset and actions. Okay, so it's very, very easy to be sucked into a negative mindset if you are surrounding yourself with negative information. Now, the biggest thing for that, what I've been advising my guys, is get off social media as much as you can. I'm writing emails every few days to my guys and giving all hints and tips. And I was reading one thing which was saying over the last 3 months, I think social media's gone or social media use has gone up by over 65% in the UK, which is scary. Now, within that, we are getting fed, well, not just social media, but all media at the minute, we are getting fed constant information, higher than we have in the last year, 2 years. And if all that is just feeding information to our brain about how devastating everything is around us, then we're going to get sucked into that environment and we're very easily not going to be able to thrive. So limiting that sort of information and trying to create your environment with more positive focus is going to help you get through this. It's going to help your body's physiology massively. It's going to help how your immune system works, because especially thoughts breed physiology as well. There's a golden example. I've just been helping my mum sort some bits out today, and her phone is tapped up to BBC News. So we're sorting out a load of stuff. Next thing, the phone goes ping. It's like, oh, death tolls just rose by 200 people or whatever it is, and that's a constant feed that's coming into her phone. How is that going to? And then she's watching all the news programs. She's, the 45-minute brief today was all about, the death toll and God knows what else. And that is going to that'll drive me insane. It is driving me insane. That's going to change her whole outlook onto this. And what I'm not saying is don't ignore the world that's going on, but limit how much do you need? I'm asking you a question, Filippo. How many times a day do you need to be notified of the death toll in the UK? I'm asking, because at the minute, everyone is wanting it or is getting delivered it probably every hour.
It's true.
How much relevance or use is that to you, Filippo?
Yeah, not at all. And
unless you are actively making decisions on where to isolate people or control whatever it is that the government's trying to do at the minute, me and you do not need to know, other than, oh, we're not in the peak yet, it's still going up. We don't need to know exactly how many people have died or where, or be watching personal cases. It's not going to be good for us. So
I don't watch news.
I took it when I was saying about the singer. I could see it in your face, like, nope, nothing.
The only news I get is from my mom. I talk to my mom once a day or every other day. She gives me some news. That's it. Or I'm part of our mentoring program. The news that come there, or the association, the emails they send once a week. That's it. Because otherwise you go nuts.
So when we're talking about the news and trying to create your environment, if you notice, what I did was, the first thing I said to you was a positive story from the news. So that's what I was trying to highlight. Do you notice, you're saying to me about Milan, I'm going, oh, did you see this amazing thing, this amazing feat of human that was in the middle singing, and this positive story? And I'm trying now, because again, I limit myself on news as well. You can call that naivety or not, but whenever I'm watching this, I'm going to try and latch on and take one of these positive bites away with me and then focus on that. I still get the information if I need to, but then my focus will be on something like that. So try and latch on and try and see the good that's coming out of this. We have in our clinic, well, in both clinics actually, especially one clinic, we come into the front door and there's a big glass panel, and that big glass panel over the last 3-4 weeks, especially before we got locked down, patients were coming in and it was a gratitude board. So we were all, I wasn't letting people come in until they've written something that they're grateful for on the board.
Oh, wow.
So we try and what me and Beck have been trying to do is do exercises, try and focus on positive things to try and bring our head out to then drive to get us through this and drive this on. You know, Becky has got us doing a gratitude exercise. So 3 things you're grateful for in the morning. That's the first thing we do. And then in the evening, we'll do wins for the day. What went well today? What was good? What was cool? Okay.
Nice.
So we're setting ourselves up and we're bringing our brain out of these situations. And I know that it's very stressful at the minute, but if we can latch onto these things, it's going to help us. Beck, I haven't been doing it, need to, but Beck is now doing meditation at least once a day as well. So trying to clear. And she has been monitoring. So yesterday, she missed her meditation session because our child refuses to sleep and is trying to kill us through sleep deprivation at the minute. So she had a line and missed a meditation session. But what she does is she tracks her heart rate and it tells her loads of stats about how productive she generally is. Now, after a meditation session in the morning, she's been tracking about 60 to 65% productivity levels. Yesterday, she missed her meditation, and after tracking the heart rate, doing some analysis, it came out about 42%. Now, this isn't woo-woo, this is physiology.
Yeah.
But this is areas that we can put in, very easily put into use to help our bodies function a hell of a lot better. Because that productivity isn't just going to be about her doing the job list or getting the things cracking in a day. That's going to be heart regulation, immune system, digestion, sleep pattern, healing rates. You see where I'm going with this?
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. Well, listen. I did wrote down. It's environment, the gratitude. Like you're not the first one I talked to, and gratitude, wins of the day, and that's what keeps coming up. And I really enjoyed it. And I want to be conscious of your time, and I think you gave some great values. And I'm sure that whoever's going to listen to this recording is going to enjoy it, and I hope they're going to put in practice what Tom has been teaching us. So, Tom, one more thing. If someone wants to get in touch with you,
Yep.
how can they find you?
So either can use Facebook or social media, and we are Goose Lane Clinic or Hollins Lane Clinic. If you want to get emailed by me, like we're doing, especially I do one specific one a week on a Thursday or Friday, I can't remember. I've completely lost track of dates. If you want to be added to my list to see kind of the positive things we've been focusing on at this time, just drop me an email to Tom, Tom, at gooselaneclinic.co.uk. So Tom at gooselaneclinic.co.uk. And we'll add you in, and we'll send you the stuff that we're sending to our guys to try and bring those mindsets out of the ditch with everything that's going on.
That's right. That's what we need. Hey, Tom, I really appreciate your time. Thank you for being with us today. And stay connected, and we'll talk again soon. Bye for now.
Definitely. Bye-bye.